Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Rant Booth live on the Ocean City Boardwalk between 10th and 11th Street at All Campus. I'm Rob Brinkman. He's John Coyle.
What's up, guys?
Again, this is the Rant Booth exclusively on a2dradio.com. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, Instagram. You miss anything here on the Rant Booth or any of the shows here on A2D Radio, download us wherever you get your podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Takeover Talk, A2D Radio is real. We already got some ranters lining up. We got a nice young man here in a Phillies cap. We got a nice, what you got on? What kind of hat you got on there, young man? What do you got?
He bought it yesterday.
An all old school Kelly Green Eagles hat with the North Face, and he's looking sharp. And I think he's going to be joining us here in a couple minutes. Like I said, we're brought to you right here live on the Ocean City Boardwalk by All Campus. 10% off, 20% off, everything in the store, including hats, shirts, team cornhole sets, to all of our subscribers. To become an A2D member, $9.99 a month. Special shout-outs, giveaways, members-only shows, and gambling picks from the Money Pop Podcast and Willie Vegas. I'm going to have some free selections later. We also got a sweet new promo deal with betusa.com. Make sure you check out our social media, use our link, make the deposit, 125% sign-up bonus.
Big bonus.
$50 minimum. I put my $50 in.
Yep.
Got $125 to play around with. I'm 2-0 thus far. I got 2 plays for you today. I'll get to them throughout the show. A little non-traditional plays, though. Because, we're in the kind of this lull. There's no NBA. There's no NFL. So,
yeah.
One's a college hoops pick that I feel really good about. And the other is my Daytona 500 selection. So, we're going to put a little money down. Hopefully get some odds on my driver and really cash in that way. BetUSA, it's absolutely fantastic. You can bet, unlike DraftKings and FanDuel, you can bet anywhere in the United States except Washington. Very flexible with their methods of payments for your deposit. Very progressive in their ways you can deposit money. Bitcoin, Ether accepted.
Yep.
Obviously, you got the debit, the credit, the cash, but also
and the payout is fast too, guys.
Payout's fast. So we got BetUSA. Check out our social media for the link. A2D Radio exclusive link. So you tell them we sent you, and you get that 125% sign-up bonus. But, it's all Sixers right now. The Super Bowl's in the rearview mirror. The Eagles have been done for, feels like, forever now, but I guess it's been about a month.
Right.
But, the beard is here. We got a poll question lined up. Can Doc Rivers lead this basketball team to the promised land? Agree or disagree? Look, Daryl Morey did his job.
Yes, he did.
And if you've listened to the show, you follow my social media, I've been strongly against this ridiculous process that the Sixers have perpetrated on both the NBA, the city of Philadelphia, and basketball fans everywhere. But they proved me wrong. Daryl Morey did his job at the deadline.
Right.
He got number 25 out of town. The beard is in. Yeah, we'll give him a little extra because Daryl Morey sat on his hands for a while, and so you got
to pay for it.
So you had to pay a little extra for it because you waited so long, but that's okay. Bottom line is it's a league of stars, and the Sixers have 2 tremendous stars and 2 great secondary stars in Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris. So they're loaded, ready to go from a roster construction standpoint. I think they need a little bit more on the buyout market.
I do, yeah.
But
I think we could get it too.
Based on the trade deadline and what happened there, and Daryl Morey proving me wrong, I believe that he's going to go out and do his job.
Yeah.
So now all the pressure shifts to Doc Rivers. Not Joel Embiid, not James Harden.
Yeah.
Pressure's off Daryl Morey. It's all on Doc Rivers. Look, John,
That's a lot of pressure too.
They played the Suns a couple weeks ago. Yep. Really, really good basketball. They win games all the time. Yeah. They blow teams out rather consistently. They lost by 5, 4-5 at home.
Great game.
To the Suns. Had a very good chance to win the basketball game. And this is without James Harden, without Ben Simmons. So Doc went out in this post-game press conference, said, look, I need another guard.
Yeah.
I need another guard to be a team like this. Daryl Morey goes and gets him the best guard available at the trade deadline in James Harden.
Yeah.
So now everything shifts to Doc Rivers. Like, are we getting Doc Rivers that got voted one of the 15 greatest coaches of all time on the NBA 75? Are we getting Doc Rivers that won championships in Boston?
Right.
Are we getting Doc Rivers that overachieved in Orlando with not a lot of talent?
Who has always sunk in big games and big
Or
moments?
are we getting Doc Rivers that's going to inexplicably
is.
use 10-man rotations in the playoffs? Doc that blows 3-1 leads.
Complete line changes.
Doc that just leaves you scratching your head and ask you while you're sitting on your couch in the living room watching the game, like, what is this guy doing? There's no rhyme or reason to this. What are we doing?
Right.
Can Doc Rivers get it done, John?
I don't know. I'm going to hold up. I want to make a quick announcement, and I want to get our little guy on here. He wants to talk Eagles draft for a little bit, so I want to get him on in a little bit. But I do have a little announcement. Next weekend, all Saturday and Sunday, we're doing a 50% off sale here at all campus, in-store. So if you got time to get down, you want to get your favorite team's hat, I'm going to have a couple tables out front that everything will be 50% off. All right, guys? I'm going to let the little guy come on.
We'll deviate a little bit. We got a little man here with the sharp hat talking some Eagles draft. What's going on, buddy? I'm Rob. What's your name? Logan? Where are you from, Logan?
I'm from New Jersey. Well, not Medford, New Jersey.
Medford, New Jersey. You got a nice hat?
Yeah.
You like the Eagles?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you like about what do you want to talk about? Floor is yours, sir.
The draft.
What about it?
3 first-round picks that we need to get.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Now, what do you think, so you got 3 first-round picks.
Uh-huh.
Do you have players in mind? Do you have positions in mind? What do you think they should do?
I got linebackers that we need.
Linebackers?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Look, you got a nice little Post-it note there.
Yeah.
You got. I see the first. I can make out the first name on your list there, Nakobe Dean from Georgia. He's pretty good, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. You think he would be a good fit?
Yeah.
So, how close do you think the Eagles are to like the Rams? You watched the Super Bowl last week. Mm-hmm. Rams are pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
So, how close do you think the Eagles are to, sticking, being able to hang with the Rams?
We just need better defense because our defense wasn't very good this year.
No, it wasn't.
So, honestly, I just think we need a better defense. Our offense was actually really surprising. I actually liked it this year, except for Jalen Hurts throwing all those interceptions. But other than that, pretty good, yeah.
Now, if you listen to me here every Sunday at the Ramp booth, I do a show on Monday too. A lot of guys do shows here at A2D Radio. A lot of us, we don't believe in Jalen Hurts. We don't think he's very good. I don't think you can get deep into the playoffs with Jalen Hurts as your franchise quarterback, so to speak. What do you think about Jalen Hurts?
I'm a little up and down with him because he'll make good plays and then you'll be happy about it, and then he'll throw a big interception to blow the game, and then you're just mad about it. So it depends, but I think we should get a new quarterback.
You think we should get a new one?
Yeah.
Now, my thing is I like Russell Wilson. He's one of my favorite guys. Yeah. I think he's really good on the Seattle Seahawks. So would you put Jalen Hurts aside if you can use some of your draft picks that you have written down on your sheet there to go get Russell Wilson?
Yeah. Yes.
Now, if you do that, those good guys that you have on that list, what's that, Devin Lloyd's the second one?
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty good too out of Utah. You're probably going to have to give up those draft picks, so you're not going to get those guys if you get Russell Wilson. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Yeah?
As long as we have a good quarterback, yeah.
Because if you have a good quarterback in the NFL, you have a chance, right?
Yeah, a chance at the Super Bowl win.
So what do you do? You're in Bedford, New Jersey. What are you hanging out? Is this your family right here? Your fan club here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? What are you going to do the rest of the day?
Just walk around on the boardwalk.
Yeah? What's your favorite thing to do on the boardwalk?
Well, get Eagle stuff.
Get Eagle stuff?
Yeah. That's my favorite thing to do on the boardwalk, and it always will be.
All right, so let's say the Eagles don't get Russell Wilson, and they get a couple guys on your list there. Do you think the Eagles can, win the NFC East next year if they get a little better defense? You think they can maybe win a playoff game next year?
Yep. If Jalen Hurts works on his throwing and all that stuff, and Devontae Smith, he's good. He was good this season. If he gets better at that, then we have a good defense. Yeah, I think we have a good chance at winning the NFC.
Boy, Devontae Smith, he would look really good if Russell Wilson was his
Yes.
quarterback, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, fantasy football. You play fantasy football?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How'd you do this year?
I play second.
Second? That's all right. That's better than half my teams. Who was on your team?
Devontae Adams, a wide receiver.
That's a good pick.
Someone who didn't do too good at Russell Wilson, but
he got hurt.
Yeah.
Sometimes sometimes that doesn't work out. Well,
yeah.
when the Eagles trade for him next year, hopefully he won't get hurt,
Yeah.
and he'll be the Russell Wilson
Yeah.
of old.
Mhm.
Well, thanks for coming on, Logan.
Welcome.
Love your hat.
Thank
Love
you.
your insight. Keep it right here on A2D Radio. Make sure you check out YouTube. It'll be on YouTube after the show ends. It'll get posted, and you can show all your buddies that you're a radio star.
All right.
All right. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you.
You're welcome, buddy. Anytime. There you go. Our first ranter. Now all campus. Now, John, you're going to be open all weekends from here on out.
Yes.
And we just announced a 50% sale.
Yep.
Next weekend, we're going to have tables out.
Yep.
I guess we're getting some of the old stuff out.
Yeah.
For the new stuff.
Yep. Yeah, we're getting all the old stuff out. Get some new stuff coming in. In a couple weeks we should get our new shipments in. So we're doing the 50% sale. And we're going to have the cornholes out here too. So I do have some cornholes left over from last year. I'm going to be putting them up 50% too. So everything here is going to be 50%.
Are we still doing the hat in hand?
For anything
discount?
Else, yes. Anything else, hat in hand, a chance to win 40% if you go for 4 in the cornhole.
So additional. So we got. He's giving the store away.
Trying to.
He's trying to give the store away. So come down next weekend. I'll be here. I might get some hats.
Get
maybe.
some hats.
Yeah, I'll get some hats. 50% off. How can I go wrong?
Can't.
And we had our first ranter of the new season. This is opening day.
This is it.
This is opening day right here for the rant booth, for the Ocean City Boardwalk, for all campus.
Yeah.
So from here on out, this is opening day. From here on out, we're going to be open on weekends. Obviously, when the weather gets normal, probably early May.
Early May. Yep.
Early May, you'll be open 7 days a week.
Correct.
So this is opening day here at the rant booth, and we had Logan batting lead off, our first ranter of the season. Some good stuff there.
Yeah, I absolutely love. Like he came in yesterday and bought the Eagles hat that he was wearing today, and I was telling him about, like, you can see they're still out there right now, and he's watching it.
Yep.
He's watching it on the phone. He's checking out the replay right now.
Yep.
But I mean, it's just. It makes the show fun when you can pass on the love for Philadelphia sports that we have and the passion that we have pass it on to the younger generation. It just makes it so much better.
And, we're here, we're talking Philly sports. We're talking about Doc Rivers, and we're talking about the Eagles draft and whatever else. If you're a Seattle Seahawks fan,
talk anything. Yep.
Come on down.
Yep.
You're here on vacation. You like the New York Yankees? You want to talk about the New York Yankees?
Yeah.
Come on and rant.
Yep.
Totally free. You don't have to.
No, just come on and get your opinions out there. Tell us what you think about your favorite sports teams. It makes it fun for the fans, and especially for the kids and the families to interact, and grow together, because sports brings the family together. It really does, especially in my family. Like, we live and die by sports, and to have a platform like A2D that Tom has provided, here, and we have a chance to pass that on to the younger generation. There's nothing more special and meaningful to me than to see that happen.
And who in the Delaware Valley on Sundays watches the game by themselves?
No one. You're always together with people.
No one. Whether you're at your favorite bar, restaurant, or friends, family, no one's watching the game by themselves.
Right.
And if you are watching the game by themselves, hop on our social media and we'll
watch it with us. Yeah.
Come watch it with us. We watch every game, I think.
Yeah.
This season together.
Yep.
And it's a lot of fun. And sports definitely bring people together. There's a lot of people, a lot of action over on here on the boardwalk. It's about 30 degrees, but
it's a little cold, but it's no wind. Beautiful sunshine. It makes for a really nice day.
The wind is the key down here, because if there's no wind,
it's a great day.
You can get things done.
Yes. Yeah. Every store is open down here now. All the food stores are open. All the clothing stores are open. So we're starting to kick off down here in Ocean City.
All right, so let's get back to our poll question.
Yes.
Our poll question is going to be brought to you by All Campus right here on the Ocean City Boardwalk between 10th and 11th Street. Come on down, rant, buy some hats. Come down next week. Huge sale. But can Doc Rivers lead the Sixers to the promised land? Can he get them to the finals? All the pressure's on him.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think all the pressure now is on Doc Rivers, and I just look back. All I can do is look back at past history with him, and I don't like the way he sets his rotations, especially now. And I know people don't want to hear this. We don't have a bench. Our bench is garbage now after this trade. I'm not saying it was a bad trade. I'm saying it was a great trade. Don't get me wrong. But it really depleted our bench. So now you're talking our real only scorer coming off the bench is Korkmaz if he's hot and Niang. Like, I just, man, that puts me in a bad spot. If he really does do the line switches like he does and has a complete starting five play together and a complete backup five play together, I'm worried that backup five is going to be negative 20 every single night. And that's going to put the starting five in a real hole.
Look, I think you got enough bigs.
I do. I think you got enough bigs, but you don't have any scoring.
I hear you.
You don't have any scoring coming off the bench.
I think you need a guard on the buyout market. And like I said, I trust Daryl Morey to do his job and get it done.
Are you really okay with B-Ball Paul being our backup center too?
No. Well, Millsap. I mean, I saw.
You think Millsap's going to be a center? You think he'll play center?
Look, Millsap is going to play. I mean,
I think he's going to play. I think he's going
to when Joe's not in the game, you're going to have to go small. You're going to have to space the floor with Niang. Millsap is going to have to play. B-Ball Paul, I'm done with. Did you see his attempted windmill the other night? Come on.
Listen, I love the energy that he has, but he's just the skill level is just not really
He's
there.
just not a pro player.
Right.
And if you can't give me reliable minutes in the regular season, then I definitely don't want you playing in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But emergency situation, Bassey's shown me just enough where if I have to play you.
Right.
Okay.
So on the defensive side,
that's all I want from my bigs off the bench in the playoffs is defense.
Rebound and shot blocking. Yeah.
Because if you play good defense, that plus minus you just talked about, it's not going to get that out of control.
Well, it has in the past. And it has this year. I mean, we see it every single night where we can't hold a lead. This team cannot hold a lead.
Because they don't have perimeter defense.
Well,
and they still don't.
No, and I think that's going to improve. I think that just got worse.
No, that's because, you had Ben last year, who's one of the best defenders in the whole league.
Even without Ben, I'm saying James Harden is
he's not doing anything.
Traffic cone out there.
Maxey, bless his heart, he's a great scorer, promising player. They represented real well at the Rising Stars Challenge, but he's.
And he tries on defense at least. He'll try. I'm not saying he's good or bad. He at least makes an effort. Harding is just you're not going to see it on defense.
So and to just point out Doc's shortcomings when it comes to I don't really think that's fair because he's won a championship.
He has,
albeit with a loaded team,
very loaded team,
and he overachieved. How he got to Boston and Philadelphia and Los Angeles was he overachieved with not a lot of talent in Orlando.
Correct. Yeah. But, he did have a lot of talent with the Clippers and here with the Sixers, and just he hasn't done it.
Look, Doc gets on my nerves a lot. The Sixers get on my nerves a lot.
Right.
But, to just look at Doc's negatives, I think isn't fair. We need to look at the positives, too.
You're right.
And look,
you're right.
Look, I've been on these airwaves saying you can't win a trade in the NBA unless you receive the best player in the trade.
Right.
The Sixers did that. The Sixers won the trade. This is a league of stars.
Okay.
The NBA, who's the last team that's won a championship in the NBA that was just chocked full of role players?
No, you have to have a star. And not only do you have to have a star, you have to have two stars at least now.
So you have...
Most teams, it's 3 stars, right? It's the big 3. That's what you hear all the time now. I don't think we have a prototypical big 3. I don't put Harris in that category. I think he's a very good, solid 3. I don't think he's a big 3. But we do have arguably the top 2 best duo in the league. So, yeah, I do think that you have to win with stars. You're right.
So you get a star.
Yeah.
You have the MVP of the league, best player in the world, Joel Embiid.
Correct.
You have Harden, who's a megastar in this league, tremendous offensive player, and his offensive game fits perfectly with Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
And then you have Harris on the wing, and you have Maxey mixing and matching with some of the guys on the second unit, and also starting.
Right.
And then you have Thibault, who I don't know if Thibault's going to start, but Thibault certainly
I think he has to start.
Well, I think the Doc is going to defer to the veteran and Danny Green to start the game, but I think Thibault will finish the game, which is much more important.
Correct.
And then, you have fringe guys like Korkmaz and Shake Milton, who just...
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is what it comes down to me. Would you rather put Maxey at the 6 and start a Korkmaz?
No.
Or start a Danny Green and Thibault together?
No. You lost me. Korkmaz starting? No.
I just need somebody off the bench that I can give the ball to and say, go get me a bucket.
Look, I don't care if these guards have to play 38 minutes a game. I don't. I really don't.
Well,
I care that Joe
can't.
Joe can't leading up to the playoffs.
Right.
Because I don't want to risk it. And if that costs him an MVP award, so be it. I want to win a championship, not MVP awards. But James Harden, guess what, bud? You're playing 38 minutes a night.
And he does. And he has in the past.
And he has. And he will. Tyrese Maxey, it's time, bro.
Yeah.
It's time. You're playing 38 a night, 35 a night.
Okay.
That's how this team has been constructed by Daryl Morey.
To the poll question, do you think Doc Rivers does that? He's never done that with any team. With any team that he's ever had, that's never been a philosophy for him.
I think but like, if the Sixers don't get here's how I'll answer the poll question. If the Sixers don't get to the NBA Finals this year, I think it's just going to be because they got beat by a Milwaukee Bucks team 4 out of 7 times. It's just better than them.
And that could be true. And I think we can, as Sixers fans, I think we can all live with that. At least I can.
As long as you get, if you fall short of the Eastern Conference Finals because you lost to the Bulls or the Heat, that's unacceptable.
I agree.
That's absolutely 100% unacceptable.
Yeah.
You can't lose for 7 years in a row and then get James Harden and still come up short.
Yeah.
Can't happen. Now, I don't know if that'll lead to Doc's firing. I don't think it would.
I would doubt it, yeah.
I would doubt it, but it'll be a conversation that we're going to have throughout the media, A2D Radio, everyone who does a podcast anywhere and everywhere about the NBA. That's going to be the narrative.
Yeah, well, Doc can't win the big one. If we lose this one, that's what it's going to be.
But, if you're matched up against the Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals with Harden and Joel healthy and you can't get it done, that's unacceptable. That's a failure. That's a failure.
Agree.
The only team, and God forbid, if you get eliminated by the Brooklyn Nets.
Man, that's I said it to you. I said it on the show last week. That's the team that I'm afraid of. And it baffles me that no one's really afraid of them. I feel like the Bucks are probably the best team, that we have to match up against. But I feel like in the past, we've done okay with them. I'm okay with having Joel guarding Giannis. I'm okay with Thibault guarding Middleton, and I think we match up perfect with the Bucks. I really do. I'm afraid of Brooklyn. I don't think we match up with Brooklyn at all. I think it's a horrible matchup. I think Kevin Durant is just going to go absolutely crazy on us. I think Ben Simmons is going to stifle Harden a little bit. I know all the numbers. I get all that, blah, 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 blah. When it comes down to crunch time, I think Ben Simmons is going to give him a little bit of trouble. All right? So I do. I think Brooklyn is going to be our big bugaboo in the playoffs this year.
See, I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. You're not going to go deep into the playoffs in today's NBA if you have a guard that's unwilling to play offense.
I don't. Okay.
Why is he going to? What about Ben Simmons? You think Ben Simmons has been not like do you think does Ben Simmons strike you as the type of worker that's been working on his game while he's been sitting out?
No, I don't.
Okay, so what the Nets got is what the Sixers have had for his whole career.
Correct. Listen,
and you're playing 4-on-5 in the playoffs.
This is two things that's going to happen with this trade. All right, and I'm not talking Sixers. I'm talking Brooklyn side of it, right? It's either going to light a fire under Ben or he's going to become a shell of himself.
There's no fire. There's no fire.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do.
Listen, we sit everyone who goes to the games, okay, and watches him at practice. He knows how to shoot. He hits shots. He'll sit and drain 5, 7 3-pointers in a row. He'll make 10, 12 free throws in a row. I've seen it. Okay. It's been done. Now, why can't he do it in the
practice?
Game? Right. Why can't he do it in the game? For whatever nerve level, whatever mental weakness he has, does that change going to a team like Brooklyn and having a guy like Durant who he can kind of offset to? He never had it. Joel Embiid was never this Joel Embiid with Ben Simmons. Joel Embiid took a huge step this year to being the man that he is. All right? He wasn't this guy. People always forget. Joel Embiid crumbled in the fourth quarter of every game. Now, you can say whatever you want because he had Ben Simmons on the floor and it was 4 versus 5, all that crap.
It's it's not crap. It's not crap.
He crumbled
what happened
in the fourth. All right? Every game, Joel crumbled in the fourth. Kevin Durant will not do that. Kevin Durant will demand the ball. Ben Simmons will not touch the ball. All right? So that means you cannot do the hack of Ben without being
okay. So here's another thing.
Foul.
First off, one thing when I was a little kid. Remember when the Pistons, the Billups, Rip Hamilton, Ben Wallace core?
Yeah.
I went to the game when I was a little kid. I must have been in, I don't know. I was probably in middle school. I was probably a little older than I'm leading on. And we got there early to watch warm-ups. Ben Wallace, who couldn't shoot a lick. Right? 50% from the foul line, never shot a 3.
Oh, he's horrible, yeah.
I watched him drain 11 corner 18-foot jump shots in a row in warm-ups with no one on them in practice.
Okay.
All these guys can play.
I get that.
That's why they're in the NBA. All these guys can play when the lights aren't on and there's no one covering them and no one's watching.
Okay. I hear you. I get it. The level's there, right? You're talking about Ben Wallace, a guy who never had the ball in his hands, who never had to do that. Ben Simmons is the opposite of that. He has to have the ball in his hands. All right? He's the point guard.
Okay. Well, how's that going to work in Brooklyn when they have Kyrie Irving?
That's going to be an interesting combo.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you take the ball out of Ben's hands? Maybe.
Well, he's a big sourpuss when he's not the primary ball handler.
Correct.
We saw that here in Philadelphia.
Correct.
Remember the bubble
and I don't think they're going to do that.
Remember the bubble when Brett Brown tried to get him the playoff ball?
Right. He
was a big sour
spot.
He was a big sourpuss. He did no movement without the ball. He was not engaged in the basketball
game,
was
useless.
And it was a total waste of time.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
So
I don't think Brooklyn's going to take him off the ball though. There's no need to. You put him on the ball and then you let these other guys have space to create. Ben Simmons could create them space. Don't get me wrong. He can drive the lane. He can create space. He's one of the best at doing it.
Look,
6'10", can get to the rim. He gets to the rim at ease. He really can. And he has plenty of guys to create space for him. LaMarcus Aldridge stays kind of outside. There's no one clogging that lane in Brooklyn.
Look, I've never been a hater of Ben Simmons, the basketball player.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
But when you start missing games and start acting like a clown, and you're hurting
I get it.
both yourself and our basketball team, the Philadelphia 76ers, because your feelings are hurt, that's where I have the problem with Ben Simmons.
I'm perfectly fine, and I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad he's gone. I want nothing to do with him. I'm happy Harden is here. It's absolutely the best trade the Sixers can get. But I'm just saying, when we're talking playoffs, to me, that's my fear team. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
So if Ben Simmons disappears in a playoff game, and there's a headline on the back page of the New York Post about Ben Simmons and how he disappeared,
he'll probably crumble. You're right.
This is New York, man.
Yeah.
Like
he'll probably crumble.
Like look, I don't like New York. I'm a Philadelphia guy through and through, but Philadelphia is small potatoes when it comes to New York.
Yeah.
When it comes to New York.
Yeah.
When it comes to spotlight and the media and pressure.
Broad Street, the Mecca, the Garden, everything there. Yeah.
All right, let's get to some comments. Pete Evans, he's an A2D member, $9.99 a month. He gets special shout-outs, merchandise giveaways, picks from the Money Pop Podcast, and Willie Vegas. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to throw out my college basketball play right now today. I bet exclusively on betusa.com. Use the A2D link, 125% sign-up bonus. The Providence Friars, a top 10 basketball team, travels to Butler today. They're 3.5-point road favorites. Butler's just not very good.
Not good at all.
And I cashed on a road favorite in the Kansas Jayhawks, laying 4.5 last night. So we're going to go back to the well with the road favorite. Providence Friars, very good basketball team.
Love Providence. Love watching it. That's a real basketball team, too.
Ed
I love
Cooley
watching them
is
play.
a tremendous coach. They're battle tested in the Big East. They lost to Nova a couple of weeks ago, but this is a team when you're filling out your bracket in March. Don't forget about them because they're not Duke or UNC or that blue blood program. They have wins over Texas Tech. They have a win over Wisconsin. And
they play real basketball.
They're doing that's why I like college basketball so much better than the NBA.
I agree.
It's
not
crazy.
1-on-1. Oh boy. Am I going to get it?
Yeah, I can't sit
What's
here.
wrong?
Am I going to get it?
What's wrong?
I cannot sit here with a straight face and not get triggered to come. First off, hello, boys. Great show.
What's going on?
Great to have opinions. But can you stop with one opinion? Like expecting this guy.
Not one opinion.
No, it's not one. It's one opinion that's the most off-base opinion in the history of sports talk. Like this guy has proven year after year. We used to sit here when he shot threes in practice, and we were like, "Oh my God, he's going to do it!" Right? And then the Chinese game, right, where he hit a three, we were all like, "Whoa, he's
opening day wasn't it when he hit a three? We went crazy."
No, the fact that you think. Like, listen, Brooklyn might be better than us. I don't know. We got to see it all play out. But he's the last guy that you put on to say that, hey, this is the reason they're going to be better than us. Hey, if Kyrie and KD are...
I'm not saying that. I'm saying he doesn't need the ball.
He absolutely needs the... Listen, what's he going to do without the ball? Then we become 4-on-5 offensively. It's a constant power play for the defense. Like, this is the ongoing problem. KD's not going to get the best out of Ben Simmons. Come on. I mean, he's playing with a generational guy he didn't want to play with. He ran from it, and now KD's going to be the one to get it out of him. KD's run from everywhere he's been to. So... he's not playing with Mike. Yeah. He's not playing with Jordan. He's playing with Kevin Durant, who's a phenomenal basketball player, and Kyrie Irving, who's a phenomenal basketball player. But this guy doesn't want – we watch enough basketball in our lives to know the last 5-7 minutes of a basketball game are the most important. You don't even have to turn the game on before it. And this guy has disappeared year in and year out in those last 7 minutes. Regular season, postseason, it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to change. He's going to a bigger market. I mean, the funny thing is, like, if he went to Sacramento, maybe I'll listen, John, maybe I'll buy into it with you. Like, hey, you know what? He's in a small market. Like, they're not expectations. He's actually got bigger expectations where he just went than where he just was. Right? I mean, his expectations, we were without Ben Simmons, we were like, even with Ben Simmons, hey, maybe we have a chance to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Brooklyn, it's make or break. Wait, KD and Kyrie. They have to cut the nets down. So now there's even more pressure. Listen, I'm never going to buy into this guy changing his stripes. I'm never going to do it. And I'm sure Zach not going to give him credit that he starts, because these are the facts. He doesn't shut down James Harden. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Sixers fan. That's the numbers. The numbers.
You're right.
Yeah, 38 game against Ben Simmons. So what? In the last 5 minutes, he's going to go lockdown? Good. Then I'm going to hack a Ben then. I'm gonna put the pressure on him to go to the line. I love you.
That's what I think it is. He's not going to have the ball in the last 7 minutes of the game.
That's a huge problem, John. You want to hit, like you're saying you're not
a huge problem.
But you're saying, and I love this. I love this, by the way, because finally for once on Tom Arnold's crosshairs, John Boyle is. Because I think this is probably the first basketball point. We see eye to eye on a lot of things, but basketball ain't one of them, usually ever. But you want him to have the ball in his hands, but then you're saying he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands. Like, he has to have a ball in his hands. Remember the bubble, Tom? When Brett tried to take him off the ball and he just sourpussed in the corner and didn't do anything, and it was a total disaster?
But we never had anyone that can take over a game, right? So you give the ball to Kevin Durant. You can run three. Who can take over a game in the fourth quarter?
Now you're lying to the people. Jimmy Butler couldn't take a game over in the fourth quarter because now
That's
you're lying.
Jimmy Butler couldn't take a game over.
Jimmy Butler. That's all he did. Jimmy Butler would disappear.
20% behind the arc this year. Come on.
You're talking about this year.
Come on.
John, Jimmy Butler didn't go to an NBA Finals. Jimmy Butler wasn't clutching fourth quarters to go to an NBA. Let's be fair here. I'm not Mr. Jimmy Butler. I love Jimmy.
Yeah.
He's not Kevin Durant. I get that. But Jimmy Butler wasn't a guy when they had that lineup, when they had Ben.
Remember Game 7? Tommy, in 2019 when Kawhi hit the shot? Jimmy Butler, we were ready to kill him for 3.5 quarters. Then in the last 6 minutes of the game, the guy flipped the switch. He's getting steals. He's laying the ball in. He got back in the game.
He's a good player.
Took over the basketball game.
He's not Kevin Durant. He's not Kyrie Irving.
No one is. Kevin Durant's probably the best offensive player
in the league
in the last 20 years.
Yes. And that's what. There's the difference. To me, there's the difference. That's why I said there's two teams where I think Ben Simmons will excel. Brooklyn and Golden State. Those are the two people I think if you trade him to, he will excel.
How, though? Like, I need the answer on how he excels standing in a corner.
Because he doesn't have to do nothing but play defense. He doesn't have to do nothing but play defense and get rebounds.
That's not true.
Stop it. He needs to have a pulse offensively for them to get over there.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
You can run three guys at KD. He's still scoring. He's still scoring. You can run as many guys. He will elevate over anyone in this league. He can do it. He's the only guy in the league that can.
John, he was playing with the best basketball player on the planet, and I know that this year is different than other years, but last year Joel Embiid was pretty good. Okay,
he was not this Joel Embiid.
I'm not saying he isn't, but part of the reason he's not this Joel Embiid is because in the last 5 minutes of basketball games, when teams have to double him and they triple him and they run everybody at him, there's nobody to hurt him.
What do you think is going to happen this year? What do you think? You think Thibel's going to be a viable offensive contributor, that they're not going to run double teams at Joel?
Hold on. Are you comparing a minimum wage guy to a max money supposed star? Stop it. Because Matisse Thibel's not going to be on the floor in those minutes.
Yes, he will.
Yeah, he is.
I think he'll. You don't think Thibault will be on the floor at the end of the games?
He should be.
Over Danny?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Danny has a history of big shots. Absolutely not. And I'm not talking about Danny Green. Absolutely not. They're trying to win a finals right now. They're not trying to just develop players.
He does have a history of hitting big shots.
I'm not made for Danny either, so let me confirm that. Like he looks like sometimes he's out there doing some cardio. But the fact of the matter is he's had talent around here to lessen his blow. Okay? He's had it here. So whatever excuses we want to make for the guy on the way out, fine. But he's had the talent here to get over the hump. The fact of the matter is he disappeared himself. That's the thing. Well,
I'm not denying that.
What we watched in the Atlanta series has happened year in and year out. So as much as maybe he's in a better situation because there's not as much pressure on him per se, because there's other scores, there's still going to be moments in games where teams run doubles at other guys, and he's left with the ball wide open. What happens in playoff basketball year in, year out? We watched it here. We watch it. Teams sag when he brings the ball up. They'll sag.
Right.
Now, it hurts Kevin Durant. It hurts Kyrie Irving. The sag hurts everybody around him. That's the problem.
But I don't think it's going to happen in Brooklyn. I don't think there's going to be as big a sag as you guys think.
Why would something that's always happened all of a sudden
because only one guy can sag. That's the Ben Simmons guy, right? You're not going to leave a Kyrie. You're not going to leave a Durant. You're not going to leave LaMarcus Aldridge out on the wing. They can hit all those shots.
You're not leaving them.
You're sagging on him. You're sagging on him. This is what you're missing.
You can sag on him all day long.
John,
that's fine.
You can play 2-3 matchup zone in the playoffs with if Ben Simmons is on the floor. You can play John Chaney, college.
We'll see, because I know that's going to come down.
College defense with Ben Simmons on the floor. You know it's going to
be Brooklyn and Philly. You know it's going to be Brooklyn and Philly.
Robbie
we will have a side bet on this.
Rob will agree with this. The basketball gods won't allow this dude to win.
I hope so. I do.
They will not allow this. I want the Nets. People are running from the Nets. I want the Nets as soon as possible.
You're crazy.
Because I'm crazy. I got the best player on the planet and a top 10 scorer to go along with them. I want the Nets.
Are the Nets?
I want a sack. I want Joel Embiid to have the agenda, because when Joel goes against the Nets, he might put up 50. because he's going to be on an agenda.
I want to see him try and put Ben.
I hope so. I do. I hope so. Joel Embiid is by far the best player in the world right now. The guy is just unstoppable right now. So I do think that he can put up big numbers. I just hope when it comes down to playoffs, again, is he able to play the 35, 40 minutes that's going to be needed? We don't know that. He's in better shape this year, but we don't know that. And how many double teams is he realistically going to say? They're going to run double teams at him every time he touches the ball.
Double teams at who? I was looking
at Joel.
How?
You have Harden now. You can't do that when you have Harden.
Harden, there's 5
if you
guys.
double team Joel Embiid in the post, you're getting cooked by James Harden.
I hope so.
Absolutely cooked.
I hope so. You guys act like James Harden is the best three-point shooter in the game, too.
Would you stop?
Knock it off.
You just don't want to give the guy credit. You don't have to be Mr. Harden. This guy's a top 10.
I love James Harden. I think he's a top 5 offensive player to ever play this game.
You're replacing Seth Curry with James Harden in your starting lineup, and you're scared of Brooklyn? What? What?
Yes,
Brooklyn's the 8 seed. They're the 8 seed. I just looked it up on my phone. They're in a play-in. They're in the play-in tournament right now.
I hear you.
And Durant ain't coming back anytime soon. And
Kyrie Irving. What are we, a 5 seed? Are we a 5 seed with the best player in the world?
We're 3.
Are we 3 right now?
We're 3. And first off,
close though, right?
Robbie, did John order his Nets hats in there yet? Because I'm sure they're in there.
Oh, I got him in, baby. I got him in. We're going all the way.
No, he's got Ben Simmons. He's got Ben Simmons stuff at the front of the store right when people
I don't think John's trying to defend Ben Simmons. I think
I'm not. Yeah,
I think he's trying to give him a little bit more credit than I think he deserves. Actually, maybe a lot more credit.
0.
Listen, all the talent there, it's been there. It's not. This is never going to be a
I agree.
Conversation.
I guess it's a stupid thing, and probably because the game has changed. It is a more offensive game now than it's ever been. But I'm just not. I would never be in the business if I'm running a team of trading the best player in the world at something. Right? I feel like that's just bad business.
Well, okay.
Ben Simmons the best in the world.
We had, and I'm going to leave you guys on this, right? Because I don't want to be on too long. It's your guys' show. I just wanted to come debate you for a minute.
I want you to answer before you go. I want you to answer the poll too.
Okay, yeah, I will. The thing, what you're saying is that the game's changed, right? We've had the most Pomsy group the last 3 years, right? The last 3 years. Forget this year.
Yeah, we have.
3 years. Defensive efficiency, rebounding, the most Pomsy group. I used to run around here, and Rob knows, talking about, man, they're so Pomsy. That's what wins in the postseason. Not anymore. You got to be able to score, right? It's great to have defense, but you got to be able to score.
You're right. You're right.
I don't think we're losing this generational defensive player because on the backside of him is arguably, I'm not going to say arguably, because he's better. He's better. He's the best defensive big man in basketball, and that's Joel Embiid. So we're not having this huge drop-off on defense because of no Ben Simmons. Like, maybe in the regular season a little bit, but come postseason time, no. And to the poll, I think part of it, I think Doc can lead this team to an NBA Finals, and I hate saying like Doc can because I think this team's so good that they might lead them there without his help in a way. But I do believe it because I believe in the talent on this roster. I've never been Mr. James Harden, but you're now pairing him up with the best big in basketball, and I know the history of the game. And when that happens, great things happen. And I'm not – that doesn't guarantee you a spot on Broad Street. That doesn't guarantee you an NBA Finals, but it makes your chances a whole hell of a lot better than the alternative. And the alternative was, hey, I'm going in to the second round of the playoffs, and my two second best scoring options were Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris.
Right.
Never going to be good enough. Now,
100%.
Now my options, and this is why I think Doc can look at his options. I mean, he has Joel Embiid. He has James Harden now he's going to have. He has Tyrese Maxey, who he continues to develop way more than Ben Simmons developed in 5 years. Tyrese Maxey's developed in one basketball season. Okay? And now the elephant in the room becomes your fourth option in Tobias Harris. This is why I did not want to trade Tobias Harris, because now Tobias fits perfectly, because now there really isn't that pressure on Tobias. You want to talk about who has the least amount of pressure on them out of anybody in all these deals? It is Tobias Harris, not Ben Simmons. It is Tobias Harris, because now he has 3 more guys who can score, and now he becomes the third, fourth option depending on the night. I think it's exciting times in Philly. We should be excited. We can talk about Ben. And Samuel White, Ben will not lock Harden down because he's never done it. He's never done it. That's just the numbers.
A tremendous offensive player is going to trump tremendous defense.
Now,
all day long. All day long.
I agree.
All day long.
Listen, love you boys. Have a great rest of your show. Let's go Sixers. I can't wait. I can't wait. We're waiting for Christmas morning when we're like 10 years old, right?
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be the biggest event in Philadelphia sports in the last couple of years is having Ben Simmons come in for a playoff series. I can't wait for it.
You totally redeemed yourself. You totally redeemed yourself, baby.
Yeah, no shot he plays on the 10th, by the way.
So I got tickets, though. I'm going.
Yeah,
I'm
going. Sell them right now. No shot.
On all campus. Get your list on all campus.
No shot that guy plays in Philadelphia on March 10th.
Yeah,
0% chance. He's going to get the sniffles, and he's going to be scared, and Rich Paul's going to release a statement. Hey, we're not doing it tonight, guys.
Boys, we have some exciting things coming up too. So this is exciting.
Very exciting stuff.
Exciting times not only for the Sixers and us, but for A2D. So we'll continue to talk about it as time goes on. But big stuff, all because of the hard work by all of us here. So we're gonna be somewhere special for the family, and it's gonna be great. So
it's gonna be awesome.
Have a great rest of your show. Make sure you guys get down there and get some hats.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping in.
Again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're good. So now we have Logan. We have Logan from Medford.
Right.
He came on and he ran about the Eagles, and we had Tom Arnone. Our grand poobah coming in and ranting.
Love it. Coming in, give me a little bit of heat.
We're gonna get to some comments now, but don't forget next Saturday and Sunday we're doing the 50% off sale.
Yeah, all weekend next weekend.
You get some Sixer stuff. You get your favorite college team for March Madness. Maybe we'll get some baseball stuff.
Got some Philly stuff up there. Got some Eagles stuff going out there.
Got some Philly stuff up if they ever play baseball again. Yep. We'll see. But Pete Evans, he's an A2D member. He's in the house. Bryce Blackwell, he's always in the house. Elliot Petoskey, he wants to come on and rant about Nets fans. Come on, man. Come on in. Come in next week.
Yeah.
We'll keep the seat warm for you. We'll get you some hats. 50% off. Kyreem Hadrick, he's checking us out on Facebook. He's hopeful for Doc, but he's not sure.
It's a good answer.
Nope. Doc not doing that for y'all. Your bench will cost you.
That's where I'm at. And I am a little bit afraid of that. That's where I'm at. I personally would like to see Maxey go to the 6th spot. I'm trying not to take any minutes from him. He still could play 28, 30 minutes, at the 6th spot, but I just needed a secondary, a number one scorer on that secondary unit.
Who are you starting then?
I'm okay with starting Korkmaz. I mean,
are you nuts?
What's it going to hurt? What's it going to hurt?
Your chances of winning basketball games?
Do you really believe
exponentially hurt your chance to win?
Danny Green and Korkmaz is that big of a gap?
Yes.
I don't see it.
Look, Danny Green, his best days are behind him. I think Thibault is in your closing line. Whether Danny Green starts, whatever. But I do think Matisse Thybulle is on the floor at the end of basketball games.
I agree with you there, but we did just hear Tommy say, and he doesn't think so.
He's just a little scared of change. He's going to get there. He's just a little scared of change, and that Danny Green is 38 and Thybulle is 22, and it's going to be Thybulle at the end of games in the playoff. He'll get there. He's just a little scared of change. Most people are, John.
I'm one of those.
Most people are.
I hate change.
It's like, do you want to be the guy in 1996 that said the internet was a fad, or do you want to be ahead of the curve?
I would have been the idiot that missed the boat.
Be ahead of the curve. Don't miss the boat. Let's see what we got here. Jake Friel does a bunch of shows here. Fan Friday, every Friday night. Another forum for the people to get involved and voice their opinion. You just email in, they send you the link, and you hop on with Jake. Daryl is going to make a signing or two from the buyout market. He's already said they're bringing in another big. See, I totally disagree with that, Jake.
I'm okay with that. I think we do need another big.
I'm fine with this rotation of big man. I really am. Because you have Embiid. Well, I should say pending Millsap is going to be a basketball player.
Well, I'm thinking he is. What do you mean?
Like a viable option. And
he was averaging 10 points a game for Brooklyn.
I think he played. It didn't work there. They signed him to do that, but he wasn't fit. He wasn't fitting in. That's why he's a throw-in in the trade.
All right.
But as long as Millsap is giving me something and a guy that I can trust for 15 minutes a game in the playoffs, okay, then that's fine. Then I'm fine because you have Niang who can stand in the corner and shoot threes and space me out a little bit if I need. Joe, when it comes, he might take his rest here and there throughout the regular season, but once playoff time starts, he's playing 40 minutes a game. He's not coming out.
That's what it comes down to. You just hit it. That's it.
Emergency situation. I have Bassie, who I kind of sort of like. Emergency.
I don't want to see him playing.
He's your
a great pickup that would have been
emergency Greg Ward quarterback.
I would have loved to have seen. I think Chrome said it on one of his shows. Tristan Thompson. That was one I would have loved to have seen that. I think that would have given us a very good backup center. Hopefully there's another one out there. I can't think of any right now off the top of my head.
You don't win with that, though.
But
you win with guards. You win with offense.
I get that. I get that.
I know, but you're saying the internet's a fad in 1996. You got to join 2022. Just like the NFL. The NFL, if you're not putting up 30 a game, you ain't winning a championship. I don't care how good your defense is. All right? You're not winning. If you don't have megastars on the perimeter that can get you buckets, like James Harden can, you're not winning. And then you have Joe.
I just don't think Joe could go 40 a game. And that's what it comes down to.
In the playoffs, sure he can.
No, he can't. Well, have you ever seen that? Has he ever done that and not broken down?
Well, I mean, you said it 15 times with Tommy. This is the best.
This is it, right? This is it. But if I'm going off of history, Joel Embiid breaks down. He has to miss a game, or he has to come out of a game. He's winded every time.
Well, first off, his conditioning's never been better.
I get that.
He's had one maintenance.
It's been better,
By my count, he's had one maintenance game the whole season. That was against Memphis, a game they won anyway.
Right.
So, I don't understand why, you don't think Joe's going to be a 40-minute a night guy in the playoffs.
I'm hoping he can. I've just never seen it. I've never seen it. Just like you guys, we're the opposite on Ben Simmons. You guys, I think Ben Simmons is a good fit there. You guys have never seen it. You have no history on that.
How can you sit here and tell me that you think Ben Simmons is going to go up to Brooklyn?
And I'm saying the same thing about Joel. How can you tell me about Joel when you never see it?
You're expecting Ben to go up to Brooklyn and change. But you don't expect Joe to develop for us and take the next step for us when Joe actually works hard and cares and wants to win?
I think he can, and I think
Ben Simmons is a clown, bro.
I just want to see it. But
you want to sit here and talk about Ben Simmons not needing the ball and being an asset for Brooklyn in the fourth quarter of games when you've never seen that either. I don't understand. You got a soft spot for Ben still. I don't know why.
I don't
know why
either.
Great. He plays good defense. Great. But
I just like the makeup,
if this were look, there's a lot to like about Ben Simmons on paper.
Right.
A lot.
Right.
He's 6'10". He pushes pace. He makes his teammates better when he's engaged, and he can defend 1 through 5 on the floor. I get it. You look at his scouting report, you're like, whoa, this guy, how can this
he's a number one pick easy.
How can this guy miss?
Right.
But when you check out between the ears, it ain't there. It wasn't here in Philadelphia. It ain't going to be there in Brooklyn. And then they're not beating the Sixers. They're not. We can bet whatever you want. You name the price. I'm in.
We will definitely have something.
Greg Milakovic, disagree with the poll. Look, I'm excited about the Sixers. I'm never excited about the Sixers. Ever.
Yeah, you were out a couple times this year.
Ever.
Yeah.
Because every time I go to put them on and invest my evening in the Sixers, I want to put my foot through the TV more times than not.
Right.
So, now hopefully I don't have to do that. I still probably will. But I don't care until the playoffs. I don't care about any
playoffs. Listen,
I don't care about any of these regular season games.
Yeah, we're going to be a playoff team. So it really just comes down to the playoffs. Let's just get healthy to the playoffs. That's all I want. Stay healthy.
Disagree with the poll. Doc always finds a way to choke it away. What are the positives as X and O's? Look, his positives are that he's won a championship, albeit with a loaded roster, but he's got a loaded roster here now too. And
see, I don't think he has a loaded roster. I think he's got a loaded starting 5. The starting 5 is good. All right. If he does what he always does and does his line changes for 7-8 minutes at a time, where they go negative 20 for a game, that's an issue. Will he do that? Because if he does, that's an issue.
He's taking Kyrie. He wants Danny to start, I guess, over Tease.
That's another. I guess you got Matisse come off the bench, but I mean that's just another guy who's just not going to score for you. I mean, I just don't know who's going to put the basket or shoot the ball for the second unit. I just it's Korkmaz, right? Like, are we giving the ball to Korkmaz and just saying, do it?
Yeah, but Korkmaz, first off, the buyout market should be explored for guards, not bigs. Guards. It's a guard league.
Right.
You need another guard, so you don't have to play Shake Milton and Korkmaz, and you have someone to take the pressure off Danny and Matisse at the 3. So, and you need another. I think this team really needs another ball handler. So
I agree. Because I don't think it could be Shake in the playoffs.
Please, God, no.
I just don't think Shake could be a backup point guard for us in the playoffs.
But I mean, Doc's going to be Doc should be handing out 40 minutes a night like it's candy to his Tyrese.
If Doc
Tobias,
Rivers comes out and says
Joel Embiid,
my starting 5 is playing 40 minutes, Sixers get to the finals.
But you want to put Maxey on the second lineup and make him the 6th man. Like, you can mix and match and have Maxey out
there. Doc Rivers has never done that.
He's gonna have to.
Okay.
And this is why this is such a polarizing poll question.
Right.
Do we have another ranter here?
Yeah, he wants to come
another
on.
ranter. John Dupuis. They've been playing Joe in back-to-backs. He's a new animal now. Teams with big threes usually don't have stacked bench guys. If you go back and look at those Heat teams especially. Yeah, I mean, John, it's a star league, and the Sixers have stars. What's going on, young man? What's your name, buddy?
Dominic.
Dominic. Where are you from, Dominic?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. All right, floor's yours, bud. What do you want to talk about? Sixers? Eagles? You like the Sixers, huh?
Yeah.
So, think of Ben Simmons.
He's fine.
He's fine. You can be honest. You don't have to be scared. We rip athletes all the time here. They're not going to come, and they're not even listening. They shouldn't be listening, even though they are.
Yeah, I don't like him.
You don't like him? What don't you like about him?
He doesn't know how to shoot threes.
So, like, do you play sports?
Yeah.
Okay, what sports do you play?
Basketball, football, and baseball.
Okay, so you look like you're probably the best guy in your team. If I can evaluate talent at all, you look like a player, Dominic. Mm-hmm. But how frustrating would you be if you had a guy who was good at basketball or football or baseball or whatever that just said, you know what, I'm not showing up. I don't want to help the team win. How would you feel about that?
Mad.
Yeah, that's frustrating, right? So now you got rid of him, and you got James Harden. What do you think of James Harden?
Very talented, good.
Very talented, good. So look at our poll question right there. You think Doc Rivers can lead this team to the finals?
I agree, yes.
You agree. Okay, so you like Doc.
Yes, I do.
Okay. What do you like about him?
He's a good coach. He's a good coach.
He's a good coach? Okay. Now you get James Harden to play with Joel Embiid. Obviously, you're a Joel Embiid fan, right?
Yeah.
Everyone is. He's great. I passed the billboard on my way down here to the ramp booth, the MVP billboard. I haven't had eyes on the James Harden billboard yet. Have you seen the James Harden? I don't know where that is, but I saw the Joel Embiid one. He's the MVP of the league, right? He's the best guy. He's the greatest thing since sliced bread, right?
Yeah.
Now you get James Harden too. That's pretty exciting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that the Sixers are going to go to the finals and they're going to win the championship?
Yes, I think they will.
You do? Oh my gosh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, Dominic. If the Sixers win the championship, you save me a spot next to you at the parade, and we'll watch it together. All right?
Yeah.
Sound good? All right. Thanks for coming on. Come back next week and buy some hats. 50% off. Yeah, Josh Dupuis. There's our second ranter. So we're up to 3 ranters. I'll count Tom Arnone as a ranter.
There you go.
There's
Yeah, he came in fire.
3 ranters here on opening
was this
day.
his order?
Dominic forgot to hook him up with his water. Yeah, Josh Dupuis. I mean, John loves him some Furkan Korkmaz.
Oh, I love it. So Josh is a friend of mine. We play Xbox together, and we were in all the basketball stuff and Madden and everything. And, yeah, we talk every night about the Sixers. And, yeah, I'm a Korkmaz guy. I think Korkmaz is a viable spot for the starting position right now. Hopefully we can get somebody in the buyout. I don't want Korkmaz, but I think it's a better fit right now, him in the starting lineup and Maxey at the 6th spot.
But John, don't you understand that if Doc does this correctly, you can separate James Harden and
then
Maxey,
I'm all for that.
And Maxey, and like they start the game, they play the first 8 minutes, then Harden comes out, and some guys come in, and Maxey runs it.
Toby and Maxey together, and Harden and Joe together. If Doc runs a rotation like that, we get to the finals.
So I don't know what his mental block was. Where he thinks he needs to have hockey lines out there. But
he's done it the last 3 years.
I understand that, but the pressure's on him not to do that.
Right.
And maybe it's wishful thinking on my part, but I think he's going to recognize that he has what he has.
Right.
And he doesn't have to answer questions about Ben Simmons anymore. And he's got James Harden, and he's got Maxey.
And you know what? I mean, not to get a little bit off topic, but we did see it this year already in Philadelphia with Nick Sirianni, right? He did make a change. And it benefited the Eagles. Let's hope Doc Rivers does make the change. Because if he does go to straight line changes, this team cannot win. If he does split the rotation, we get to the finals. I do believe that. 100%.
All right, what do you want to do? Draft stuff?
Yeah, you want to get a little Eagles in?
Eagle stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the Rams,
right?
Champions.
Well, the first of all, the big news of us being at the draft.
Yes, we are going to be at the draft, on the floor, on Brady. I don't even know where we're going to be. We're going to be there.
We're going to be right there on Media Row, right there interviewing all the draft picks. So first time the Philadelphia Eagles fan base gets to see our new draft picks will be here right on A2D Radio. We will be doing the first interview of our first draft picks, guys. That's exciting.
Is that right?
That's right.
Wow.
That's right. First Philadelphia media market to be doing the interviews of the new players is going to be A2D Radio.
I mean, what a year! What a year to have that privilege and that honor.
Yes,
three
first rounders. Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
or we get to announce the big trade where we get a Russ or whatever happens. It's going to be fun.
Well, you got to think because the new year starts March 4th or something.
Right.
You got to think there's going to be some fireworks on March 4th, a month before the draft. So,
I think you'll see something. Yeah, I mean, the rumor mill's all over the place with everything. You got all these mock trades going out there now, and all the mock drafts are starting up and everything. Are you a big mock draft guy?
Not really.
I am. I like doing the mock drafts. I don't post them like everyone else does. I just do them for my own personal gratification there. But
all these guys do mock drafts, and who cares? There's only 32 opinions that matter.
You're 100% correct. Yeah, there's only one opinion that matters in Philadelphia.
And then you get these mock drafts that are I'm predicting a trade where the Jets are going to trade their 10th pick for a 3rd round pick and a 1st round pick. Now you're like, dude, shut up. You have no idea. You're having fun with it, which that's cool if you want to have fun with it, but come on, let's
let's get rid of the fantasy the trades. All right, if you're holding the 3 picks, what are you looking for at 15, 16, 19?
I don't want to draft a quarterback.
No, let's hope we don't do that.
I mean, I know we go to the receiver almost every year, but that's a huge need for this football team.
Still an option, still on the table.
Treylon Burks looks cool. Chris Olave looks Chris Olave looks cool.
I love Burks.
You're losing Barnett.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need a pass rusher.
You're gonna need a DN. Yep.
Every team in the league needs secondary help. You can never have enough secondary help. And then the Eagles haven't had a linebacker drafted, I think, since 1978 in the 1st round.
So if I'm just going off of what you are saying here is you named every position on the defensive side of the ball. You named every level. D-line, linebacker, secondary. Are you willing and okay with going 3 defensive picks in the first round?
Look, I want guys that can play.
Okay.
I don't care if you pick Tyler Linderbaum out of Iowa on the offensive line.
Love to have. Yeah.
If you can get guys that you can't miss.
Right.
Everyone wants to hit a grand slam in the first round of the draft or in the draft. You don't have to. You don't have to hit a grand slam. You can hit singles and doubles and be a good football team.
Yeah, you just don't need bust. You just can't have a bust.
The Eagles just can't strike out because I've said it a bunch. I'll say it again. The cupboard is not as bare as Philadelphia Eagles fans make it out to be in terms of talent on this roster. It's not.
I differential there. I think we are a little bit thin. And maybe not thin on talent. I think we're thin on age. I think we're getting a little bit older, and at some point I do think we're going to see a decline from our elder statesmen on this team.
Well, I mean, I trust Howie.
Right.
I trust Howie. Howie builds a playoff roster every damn year with
yes, he does.
No stability at the quarterback position, which speaks volumes to this front office and how they do things. It makes us mad sometimes, and obviously we want to focus on the misses, but every team misses.
Yeah, and every team misses. What it was, it's not even the misses, right? Because like you said, every team misses. It's the misses in the same position, right? You take wide receiver, well, the very next pick at wide receiver is a home run. We miss a wide receiver. The previous year to that, DK Metcalf's a home run. Like those are the ones that hurt. Like if we draft a linebacker and then a wide receiver,
you pick the wrong one.
You pick the wrong one at that position. That's what hurts. Yes, and that seems that's been happening to us a lot in the past drafts.
Now I'm not a Jalen Hurts guy at all. Obviously, if you've listened to anything or looked at anything I posted, I don't think he's a franchise quarterback.
Right.
I don't think he's good enough. But a second-round pick that got you to the playoffs last season, isn't that a hit?
That's a home run. I mean, that's a home run.
So he's got misses upon misses in the first round, and Andy Reid had misses upon misses in the first round. But they find a way to find it, like Jordan Mailata.
Jeez.
Undrafted. He's your starting left tackle.
He could be one of the best left tackles in the game in the next couple of years.
Jason Kelce was what, a 5th-round pick?
Yeah.
He's a first-ballot Hall of Famer in my book.
Best center in football in the past 5-7 years.
You got the shirt back there of his Super Bowl speech.
Yep.
So, I mean, on and on. I mean, you have Lane Johnson and Fletcher Cox who were top picks.
Right. But that's my fear. Is all those guys that you just mentioned.
Josh Sweat, what round did he get picked in? 4th?
Yeah, 3rd, 4th.
Miles Sanders, he's your starting running back. He's a second-round pick. I get on Miles a lot.
I'm with you. I think Howie's done an okay job. I think he's done a fine job, and I think he'll do a fine job with these 3 picks. Everyone who sits here and says, we got to trade him because Howie's picking them. Well, there's no real evidence to that. Why? Howie's done an okay job, guys.
Well, we say Happy New Year to everyone, and the first Sunday after we say Happy New Year, the Eagles are playing a playoff game.
Yeah.
Every year.
We're lucky, a lucky city to have that. You're right.
And then, to your question, yes, I would hold off on the receiver probably until the second, because I think you can do that in the second round. I think you can do that in the second round, third round. You can find someone.
There's another one I'm real big on, the Clemson wide receiver, Ross.
Justin Ross.
Yeah, huge on him. I think you get him in the 3rd round.
He's just hurt a lot.
Yeah, I just love his measurables.
And he catches the football, which is a problem sometimes here with the receivers we have here in Philadelphia. But, I think I'm probably the only one excited that Jonathan Gannon didn't get a head coaching job, and he's got to come back and be the Eagles' defensive coordinator, because I believe in continuity. And 1 year, for me to say Jonathan Gannon's a bum after 1 year of being the defensive coordinator, I think that's super unfair.
100% is unfair, and I think we need to look at the season as a whole, right? The beginning of the year, I do think that there were some growing pains that were needed to be made. But every single coaching staff, including Gannon, did make those adjustments, and by the end of the year, we were a little bit better. And I know the schedule had a factor in all that. I get all that.
You played the 8 best quarterbacks probably in the league the first 8 weeks of the season. And
I do get all that. But he did make adjustments too. So let's not forget about that and excuse that. He did make adjustments, and now, like you said, the continuity, the knowing your team and the players, the scheme fits a little bit better. Hopefully he comes up with a little better system this year too.
And if you give him 3 first-round picks.
Correct.
To work with, or even, let's say 2. Let's say 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, let's say
you use one on
very simple.
Else.
I mean, this is a real situation. You get him a DN and you get him a corner. Man, this defense can look real different next year.
And we're so fixated on 3 first-round picks. There's other picks too. I think they have 14 picks.
Yeah.
Like that's half a team.
Right.
Almost a full team, starting lineup-wise.
Yeah, you could do a lot with that.
You can do something. I do think that there's going to be a lot of trades.
I do think we are going to be in the trade market. Yeah,
up, down, sideways, backwards.
Who's a guy you're trading up for realistically? Like not Hutchinson or anything like that. Like who's a guy you realistically think?
The only guys I would trade up for is Aiden Hutchinson and Kyle Hamilton, the safety out of Notre Dame.
Hamilton is one I would act. And this is crazy.
Hamilton,
I would trade all 3 first-rounders for him.
I can't do that. For a safety. The only position I would even consider that for is quarterback, and there's not a quarterback, so I'm not trading 3 first-round picks for a safety. What's going on, guys? So that's crazy. But if Kyle Hamilton starts slipping to that 10 range,
I'd be mad if we didn't try.
I'm picking up the phone. You need 2 to tango.
Yeah,
everyone wants to demand. Oh, why did they trade up for CeeDee? Like, okay, they didn't trade up for CeeDee Lamb because
no one wanted to give it to us.
Atlanta didn't want to trade.
Yeah,
you can't make them trade with you. Unfortunately,
you're right. There is one guy in the draft that I'm becoming enamored with, and that's Gardner. Ahmed Gardner, the corner from Cincy. I just, man, I would love to have that guy.
Cincinnati,
Conference
USA or whatever.
Him.
Yeah,
guy, what 6'3", 6'4", like corner, give me him.
Big Ten, SEC, Clemson, Notre Dame.
I'm
That's
with
all
you.
I want.
I'm usually in the same boat, but I just think this kid's going to be special. And from everything that I'm reading, he's climbing up the draft boards.
I mean, there's strength in numbers as well. So I think Howie's going to do quite a bit of trading back.
Yeah, I do see him gathering a lot more picks, trying to get younger.
Howie loves trading.
Yeah.
He loves it. He's good at it. When's the last time Howie Roseman didn't get the better end of a trade?
You're right. 100%.
Jay Ajayi won a Super Bowl. Not that Jay Ajayi was the focal point of that Super Bowl team, but he helped a lot.
You move Carson, you get first.
He swindled the Colts to the point where Carson Wentz might be back in Indianapolis next year. So you win that trade. You trade back in last year
to get another one.
You got another one. You still got your number 1 need in Devontae Smith.
Anytime you get 3 top 20 picks, you did very good in the trade market.
So, I believe in Howie.
You want to come on the show, bud? Talk? Yeah, right there, bud. That's our Instagram, all right?
Look at these kids with the QR codes, and they just zap right in. I still don't know how to do it.
Yeah. It's pretty fun.
He just zaps right in.
He's got his Eagles jacket. He's all eagled up. Yeah. He's all ready to go.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Love it. Have a good one, guys. Yep.
What do we got? 15 minutes left. What's going on with baseball, John?
I was just about to say that. It looks like we just got word this week that lockout is now going to cost us some games.
Well, no, they have till the 28th to come to a deal so that they can start the season on time. So they're going to meet every day.
They got to push it back a little bit to the 5th, at least. Right, which means you're missing some games.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
Opening day is late March.
Opening day, yeah. You're missing some spring training.
Oh, games. Yeah. They'll make that up. That's fine. That's fine. No one. They just.
I'm a bit spring training guy. I love going down. I go down every year.
I hear you on that, but like Bryce Harper's just going to play long toss for a couple days. He's ready to go. They've been hitting all winter. They've been working out. Like, they're ready to go.
But every single year that this happens, where there's a lockout and you miss spring training, the main thing that I see is you get a rash of injuries, especially in the beginning of the year. You get a rash of injuries, and I would just let's just find a way to get a deal done. I mean, this sitting in a room together for 15 minutes nonsense.
Don't even show up.
Don't
even show up. It's a waste of everybody's time. It's a waste of the owner's time. It's a waste of the players' time. Like, don't even show up. Don't even have the meeting. They're just now starting to meet 7 days a week.
They just said that this is going to be the first week where they meet every day.
They've been locked out for 77 days, and they're just now starting to meet every day.
Yeah, and they threw away, the Players Association declined to have the mediator, and it's just it seems like it's just not going well. And
it's not going well at all.
That's
but
not
I mean,
good.
Now my frustration is shifting towards the players. Big time.
It is.
Because
are they being too greedy?
The owners are being greedy because they lost money
last year
because of COVID.
Years. Yeah.
Because of COVID.
Yep.
Which is a blip on the radar. They've made money every year for 125 years, and then now that the first year they want to kick and scream and cry foul.
Right.
That's wrong.
Right.
But
okay.
No, it's wrong for them to they should just realize that it's
I
absolutely
get it,
a recession-proof investment owning a baseball team.
Baseball's a little bit different because of the way that the luxury tax and the salary cap and all that stuff works.
Yeah, but if you own a small market team, you're getting revenue sharing from the Yankees and the Bostons and the Los Angeles Dodgers of the world.
It's only percentages. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head to know if they're making money. I'm sure they're making money, but I don't know how much. Like you hear all the time, Oakland A's, like they're not making money. Like they're actually a franchise who might not have a stadium. They might be bankrupt. Their stadium. So what? I just think the affair of baseball needs to change, and maybe they do it with this negotiations with how they divide their money.
Well, if they don't play any games, nobody's gonna make any money.
Yeah.
So they got to make a compromise. Look, if you make a compromise, the sign of a good compromise is that both sides are unhappy.
Right.
That's what a compromise is. Some people, one side gets a little bit, this side gets a little bit, and then most of it in the middle, neither side likes.
Right.
That's a compromise.
Yes.
But you make a compromise, so you both don't like. There's no reason why everybody should lose money.
No.
And these look, I'm a baseball head. You're a baseball head. Tom Arnone and everyone he does a show with, they coach baseball and they played baseball at way higher levels than me. You've played baseball. You played at a high level as well. So they're not going to lose us as fans because I love the game.
Right.
I'd rather watch a baseball game between the Yankees and the Red Sox than a football game between two teams that aren't the Eagles.
Yeah,
that's how big
I'm
baseball
a diehard
fan
baseball
I am.
guy, yeah.
So they're not going to lose me. Once they start figuring it out and start playing, I'm going to watch.
I'm in, yep.
But these people who want to complain about the games too long and their steroids and this, and they're going to lose them and they ain't ever getting them back.
Yeah.
So not only are you going to make no money while you're locked out, you're losing money on the back end because you're going to lose the casual fan.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to make the buco bucks that everyone's making.
Right. And it does seem like every single time baseball has a chance to bolster themselves, they shoot themselves in the foot. Every single time they do something stupid. Like this lockout should not, like you're coming off of COVID. Everybody wants to get back into the stadiums. We all want to get back into the stadiums. We all want to get back into live sports. And then you're going to shut down? Like, that's just...
Yeah.
Man,
like
it's just crazy.
These big-time free agents, they don't even have teams.
They don't have teams, yeah.
Chris Bryant does not have a team. Carlos Correa doesn't have a team. I almost said Troy Tulowitzki, but Trevor Story doesn't have a team.
Right.
Like, a few guys got nabbed up before the lockout, and, like, some of these big-market teams, that are looking to make a splash have money to spend.
Yeah.
The Phillies, the Yankees.
Yankees want to go crazy. Yeah.
Freddie Freeman does not have a baseball team right now.
Nuts. Yeah.
That's horrible
One of the
for
best
your
players
sport.
in baseball.
And then you also had the black eye of the Tyler Skaggs fentanyl overdose, where that Eric K.
Yeah, it seems like they just said that he's responsible for
going
it now.
away.
Yeah.
And I hope they make an example out of. Well, he's facing 20.
Yeah,
minimum 20.
It's a shit. I mean, that's such a sad.
And now
story.
you have Harvey getting asked all kinds of questions about cocaine and nightlife, and he's giving clown answers under oath in federal court.
Yeah.
He is a clown, and that's going to be a black eye. He's going to be facing suspension.
You got all the steroids now, rumors kicking back up with them not testing right now. Is that going to be an issue going into the season? Because
you know what they're doing. You know what they're doing, John, to save themselves, to get people to come back after this stupid lockout. They're going to say everyone use steroids, and we're going to turn our back.
Let's go to the home run derby again.
Let's go to the home run derby again, so people watch and chicks dig the long ball and the whole thing.
And 3 years from now, we'll deal with it.
And then 3 years from now, they're going to crack down, and then all the people that saved the sport from this lockout, they're going to blackball and not let them in. And that's why baseball and Cooperstown, I have no respect for.
That's a joke. Cooperstown is now a joke, and it's the one. It's the one place that I want to take my kids and wanted to go with my dad. I've never been to Cooperstown.
Neither have I. I won't give them my money.
I
won't give them my money.
Right now, when you're talking about arguably the best player to ever play this game, and Barry Bonds is not in the Hall of Fame, or Pete Rose, your all-time leading hitter, is not in the Hall of Fame. Man, you lose credibility.
Isn't that hilarious, though? Whereas Pete Rose, his behavior in the 70s and the 80s may have been tarnishing at the time.
Right.
Now you look at the sports jerseys, and they are all sponsored by a sports book.
All
Gambling's all over.
Yep.
FanDuel, DraftKings.
Can't tell me it's not in the locker room now either. Come on. It is.
Yeah, that active players didn't bet on the Super Bowl.
Right. Or even as far as they're not looking at the odds of who's going to win the division or win the World Series. Like, come on. It's on their phones now. So it's everywhere.
Everyone's got a sports book. Everyone's sponsored by a sports book. Gambling's everywhere. I mean, you could throw a rock and hit Atlantic City from the ramp booth right now. And Pete Rose,
this is my point.
Can't
Pete Rose,
be in.
How much does he have to suffer? Like I get he broke the rule and the unwritten rule and everything, betting for your team or against your team, whatever they found out there. But how much does he have to suffer? It hasn't been enough. Same thing with Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds. Hasn't it been enough now? Like, these guys should be in because it's a history lesson of the game, and they are a big part of the history.
Yeah, and one of my big criteria is for the Hall of Fame, any Hall of Fame, but baseball, for example, is like, can I tell the story of baseball without Barry Bonds?
Correct. No,
absolutely
you can't.
Not. Can I tell the story of baseball without Roger Clemens?
No.
Can I tell the story of baseball without Pete Rose?
No. Or Mark McGwire.
Sosa, they're on my ballot.
Right.
You can't tell the story of baseball without mentioning the home run chase of 1998.
It saved the game.
And then you have guys like, can I tell the story of baseball without Harold Baines?
I mean, he's a great player. He's a nice player, but yeah,
I know this is going to make Phillies fan, but can I tell the story of baseball without Jimmy Rollins?
Yeah,
easily.
Like
Tim Raines.
Right.
Yes.
And these guys are all in. Yeah.
And then the icing on the cake with the Hall of Fame for me was David Ortiz. A career DH,
and he
getting in on the first ballot. That's a joke.
The first 7 years of his career, he was a nobody.
Yeah, and still he started pumping junk into his veins and hitting home runs. He was a nobody on the Twins.
He was a nobody.
He was a rotational DH on the Twins.
Right.
Then he goes to Boston and bulks up and hits home runs, and I'm not supposed to raise my eyebrows? Whoa, what's going on here? Mentioned in the Mitchell report, by the way.
Correct, right. And that's where I have the issue with. So why are we singling out some people and not others? Like, because Alex Rodriguez, why? Why? He is a great, phenomenal player in this game, in the history of this game.
You want to know why? Because when media members go over to Barry Bonds and want to ask him about the game and get a quote from him, Barry Bonds tells him to get lost.
He shuts down. Right.
Roger,
right.
I don't want to talk to you. I'm private. I'm just trying to do my thing and go home. I don't want to be in the media. I don't want to be on TV.
They're still
doing
a part
interviews.
of the game. There's still a huge story of the baseball history, like you were saying.
So, like, David Ortiz wants to be Mr. Jolly. David Ortiz also got shot
in
the Dominican Republic for canoodling with drug lords.
Correct.
So what? That's not a character flaw.
Listen,
but he went after the games were over in Boston. You know, Peter Gammons and all those fanboys. He went over to him and dabbed him up and gave him quotes and did whatever they wanted because he liked that. That's his personality. So he gets to be in the Hall of Fame because he's an affable guy. Sorry.
I'm with you. The Baseball Hall of Fame has become kind of a shell of what it should be. And I'm not going to say a black mark on the history of baseball, but it really just it doesn't tell the story that it should.
It's not an accurate depiction
Correct.
of the history of baseball.
Correct.
And that's a shame, and that's a failure.
Yeah.
And it's because media members want to be the news and not report the news.
Yeah,
it's not your job to be the news.
It's not your job to be the news, and it's also not your job to tell the story. It's the players' jobs to tell the story, right? The players are the ones creating the story. You're supposed to just write it. You don't get any input or say in it.
What time? We got a few minutes. 4 minutes left here. I'll give you my other free pick.
Okay.
Daytona 500 pick. All my action. sportsbusa.com. Check out our social media. Use the A2D link. 125% sign up bonus. Super easy to deposit. They even use crypto. You can even use crypto.
Yep.
Bitcoin, Ether, credit, debit, cash, whatever. Super easy. 125% sign up bonus. If you deposit $50 and tell them A2D Radio sent you. I'm going with Ryan Blaney today in the Daytona 500.
Okay.
12-1 odds. He's a Ford. He's a Penske Ford. He's on a good team. The Fords have been running hot all week. All week in qualifying and practice. I think Ryan Blaney is the best of those Fords. He's the number 12 car today. He won the July race at Daytona last year, and he's finished second in the last two Daytona 500s.
Yep.
Pretty decent number there at 12-1. I think he's the third or fourth favorite. So I'm going to fire a little smoke on Ryan Blaney. And I gave you Providence earlier. I'm not sure if that game has started yet, but take Providence minus 3.5 on the road against Butler.
Yeah. Well, what we got next week? I mean, when do the tournament?
March.
They start soon, right?
March 18th.
So a couple weeks.
March 12th.
March 12th,
Selection
right?
Sunday, and then the 18th, 19th. That's the first weekend.
No, I'm talking the conference tournaments. They start next week, right? 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
So yeah, you're gonna have the smaller conferences. I love watching.
I love watching it. Yeah.
The smaller where there's only one team going.
Right. You're either in by this tournament or you're out. You could have a 4-16 record or whatever it is, and still get in by winning this conference tournament. It's fun.
Which we can debate that another day. I think that's probably the only flawed thing in the selection.
It does make it fun,
NCAA tournament process, but it definitely makes it fun. And then you cut down the nets, and the whole thing with March Madness is great. I don't go to work during March Madness.
March Madness is great.
It's non-negotiable part of my contract.
Multiple TVs up. You got the computer running. You got everything going. Love it.
I don't do well with a multiple TV setting.
Oh man.
I don't
do you
do
a
well.
split screen or something on the TV or anything? You only watch one game?
Yeah, because I like to sink in and see what's going on.
No, I got them all. I got them all on. You got what? It was a True TV.
But the way they
TNT
stack it, especially on the first 2 days, where it comes on at noon and you sink into that game and it's over. Then you switch over to the next one, and then that's in the second half.
Yeah,
and they're all stacked up.
Yeah.
One after another.
Yeah, I mean, there are some that roll over. I like the rollover. I like the whole day affair of it.
And then if Nova's on, I'm locked.
Oh, it's
in.
all Nova.
I'm locked
I'm
in Nova. Yeah, and they're really good. But we're have you covered on March Madness. Don't forget, next week, big blowout sale down here at All Campus, 50% off. We're playing cornhole for additional discounts. We have all kinds of hats. New inventory is in. And then you get another 20% off if you're an A2D member.
Yep.
$9.99 a month. You get all kinds of perks. So sign up for that. Go Sixers. Fear the Beard.
Hopefully we get to see him this week.
I think James Harden is going to play on Tuesday. Hopefully that. We'll have the reaction throughout the rest of the Sixers season right here on A2D Radio. He's John Coyle. I'm Rob Brinkman. Thank you to everyone who liked, comment, and shared the show. Thank you to Ralphie for producing the show. Until next Sunday, live here on the Ocean City Boardwalk. Peace out.